Welcome to Alonzo Bash Podcast, where art and culture meets activism. Experience the vibrant Caribbean culture at Baltimore's One Carnival. This annual event brings the sights, sounds, and flavors of the islands to Baltimore City for the past 40 years. From pulsing soca beats to dazzling costumes, it's a feast for the senses. But it's more than just a party. It's a celebration of unity, culture, and empowerment, where traditions come alive and communities connect. In this episode, Alonzo sat down with Baltimore Washington One Love Carnival President Dr. Elaine Simon. Dr. Simon shares her amazing life story, her role, and the future of carnivals in North America. Sit back and relax. Alonzo Bash Podcast starts now.
Greetings. Welcome to Alonzo Bash Podcast. I'm your host, Alonzo Bash, and today's special guest is a legend in Baltimore. I'm so excited to have her here today. But before we get started, I'm going to do something a little different today, Dr. Elaine. I was going over your awards and honors and so forth, and I was so taken aback. So I want to take time out to actually read some of them. All right, so Preserver of Many Awards, Consortium of Doctors, Atlanta, Georgia, 1992. Resolution of Distinction, Maryland, Legislative Black Caucus, 1993. Mayor's Entrepreneurial Award, Baltimore Mayor Kurt Smoke, June 1994. Congressional Achievement Award, Congressman Elijah Cummings, February 19. Honor Award, Fullwood Foundation, Baltimore, 1998. Prime Minister Distinguished Service Award from the Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda, 1999. Thurgood Marshall Award, NAACP, Baltimore Chapter, 2007. Charm City Tourism Award, Baltimore Tourism Industry, March 2017. Community Achievement Award, Baltimore Times, November 2019. Commissioner of Community Affairs by Governor Westmore, 2023. You also serve on a number of boards here in Maryland: the Advisory Board of Clinical Community Development Authority, National Legal Aid and Defender Association, Community College of Baltimore County, International Educational External Advisory Board, and Maryland Unified Licensed Beverage Associations. The list goes on. I'll take a pause for now.
Is that me?
Wow.
It's quite an honor.
I'm rather impressed.
But I'm
rather
so
impressed.
glad
Rather impressed.
Being an island gal, you're supposed to be impressed.
Yeah, very
because
impressive.
we represent.
Yes. Also happy. I know you just turned 80, so happy. I'm not bad to call a woman age.
I love it. Achievement represented me well.
Well, you carried the number very well.
Thank you.
All right, so let's kick it off. Let's start about your backstory. Let's go back to pre-independence, Antigua and Barbuda. Talk about your story a little bit. Where you born, you grew up, your siblings and stuff like that.
Okay, I'm a born native of Antigua and Barbuda. When I left Antigua, we didn't have independence, so it was just Antigua and Barbuda. It was just Antigua. Later on, with independence, it became Antigua and Barbuda. Okay. During my time while I was in Antigua, was only Antigua.
Okay, never knew that.
Barbuda came later. Yeah. I migrated to the United States in '69. Okay. Prior to that...
Well, how old were you when you migrated to the U.S.?
About 25, 26.
Okay, so you pretty much grew up in Antigua.
Well, I live in America more than Antigua, because I live in Baltimore from 1973 to present. That's like 53 years, 54 years, and I left Antigua, in my mid-20s.
But you remember what Antigua was like in those early days?
Of course. I come from a place called Pint. I'll call it Pint. And I grew up with a lot of who became legend during my time. For instance, Ambassador Lionel Hurst, and we were neighbors. And Dr. Cartwright Davis, he's a minister, and we all grew up around Bishopgate Street and Alfred Peter Street. So a lot of them, when we see each other now, and one of our colleagues recently passed about 3 weeks ago, Ren O'Neill. Yes. He was one of Antigua's top land person who does all of the land surveyor. He's a top surveyor, one of the oldest surveyors of the land in Antigua, Ren O'Neill, and he just passed on. And we grew up together in the same big yard and Alfred Peter Street. So, I have a lot of people that I've, like they say, rubbed shoulders with, that I'm proud of, and they always express that they're proud of me also.
Nice, nice. All right, so you migrated to the U.S. and you said 1969.
Yes.
What was that experience like when you first came here?
Came to go to school. I came to go to beauty school, which I did. And while I was in beauty school, my youngest daughter got pregnant with her, and she born in New York. She was born in New York, 1970. And the experience was, the transition was hard because back then in the 60s and the late 50s, a lot of Caribbean women came to the States, migrated to the States for domestic jobs, domestication. And my mother was one of them. And she worked in Connecticut, and I lived in the Bronx. I was fortunate that my mother helped me to beauty school, and that was a promise to me if I would go. And she did. She came to New York, and my husband and I lived 127th Street, right in Harlem. And my mother worked in Connecticut as a domestic person. And, she just come in on the weekend and bring my school fees. And those are some of my emotional moments of my early beginning with how my mother, was only two of us at the time, myself and Wendy's mother. And she left her home and came to New York to help me to beauty school.
And for those of people who know Wendy, that's your niece.
Yeah, Wendy's my niece. I mentor her a lot because they call her Little Missy Lane. So it was quite an experience going to school in New York and could not work. But my mother and my husband helped me through during that time. And then after I graduated from Apex Beauty School, then I went to an advanced program, Wilfred Academy on Broadway. So I kept educating myself, advancing myself, because I had goals and aspirations that I had to help my sister back home. So I had to make sure that at that time I had three kids, my oldest daughter Denise and my son Sheldon, who is now deceased, and Francine, the one that born in New York. So, the combination of all what I wanted to do and I had to do to make it work, it's very rewarding at times. When I think about it, I don't even entertain the struggle at that time because I overcame it with my ambition. So moving forward with that ambition, I left New York and I came to Baltimore in 1973 with my three kids. And I was searching around to identify with some organization that I can relate to, Caribbean, of course. Yeah. And being in Baltimore, came to a family, an American family. We didn't have a lot in common, especially with the...
Well, if I may, why decide to come to Baltimore of all places?
Well, I did not want to go back to Antigua. Yes. And my husband and I was going through a separation, and I spoke to a very good friend of mine that met in beauty school, and she gave me an option. She says, I have an aunt, live in, Lord rest her soul, Andy live in Baltimore, and my sister live in California. Okay. But the key was, she says, if you go to California, I might see you once a year, twice a year, not knowing the distance. Remember in Antigua, it takes you 20 minutes from east to west, 20 minutes from north to south. So talking about 14 hours, I was like, I couldn't fathom that kind of time. So I told her, well, I'll go to Baltimore. She said, I can come down on weekends and visit you. And she did. She used to come down to visit us because my youngest daughter is her goddaughter. And so we were very close. It still wasn't enough for me, because I needed to identify with my people. In New York, of course, I got on Brooklyn, Labor Day, St. John Place. I used to live in Brooklyn for a while. I live at 1615 Lincoln Place. That's right between Ralph and Buffalo. And all the Trinidad down there have party a weekend. So it was a different atmosphere, environment. Leaving New York, coming to Baltimore, don't know nobody, but the person that I gravitated to as an aunt. And she was such a darling, embraced my kids. So there was a comfort level there because of the acceptability at the time with her. But still I needed more, and I had to go further. And I told her I'm looking for a job. She knew I was a hairdresser because her niece and I met in beauty school, one of the beauty schools. And she took me to this salon, this man, Mr. Baker. Most Baltimoreans know Henry Baker. And he had a salon in Waverly Shopping Center.
Yeah, no, Waverly Shopping Center. I used to work at the Jiffy Lube across the street.
Oh, my. So I started working there for Henry Baker at the salon. And it still wasn't enough. Something was missing. And one of the young lady, who is Dr. Maxwell, she's a professor at Morgan. And I used to do her hair because by working at Henry Baker, there was a bar across called Beers Den. And the word got out, they got this woman from New York. She's fine and she can do hair. And the word really got out because in New York, we were more advanced in hairstyles than Baltimore was. And I was into hair weaving. And in Baltimore, they wasn't going on with hair weaving. In New York, we were. So I built a clientele real quick because of my art of hairstyling. And I met Dr. Maxwell. She went to Dr. then, Dolores Newton at the time. And I told her I want to go to school. I want to go to college. And I told her the background. I said, well, I dropped out of school in Antigua. The story. And she told me, well, you got to do a GED. She helped me go through the process. And she helped me. At that time, it was BEOG, the Basic Opportunity Grants. Yes, BOG. That's what we got in the 70s and the 80s. And she helped me, and I got into a junior college. She suggested that I go to a junior college. And at that time, it was Bay College of Maryland. Graduated from Bay College of Maryland. Bay College of Maryland was on Howard and Center. Howard and Center, parallel to the Greyhound bus station. The Greyhound bus station was there, the old Greyhound. As a matter of fact, the building's still there. And after we leave there, Center and Howard, we went down to Charles and right there by the Belvedere Hotel. Parallel to the Belvedere Hotel at Charles and I think it's Madison. No, that's not Madison. But anyway, right there, Charles Street, parallel to the Belvedere Hotel. And that's where we were for a while. And then that became Antioch. Those who live in Baltimore know Antioch College. Top surveyor, one of the oldest surveyors of the land in Antigua.
Wow.
Ren O'Neill, and he just passed on. And we grew up together in the same big yard and Alfred Peter Street.
Yes, nice.
So, you know, I have a lot of people that I've, like they say, rubbed shoulders with, that I'm proud of. And they always express that they're proud of me.
Yeah. Nice, nice. All right, so you migrated to the U.S. and you said 1969?
Yes.
Okay. What was that experience like when you first came here?
Well, I came to go to school. I came to go to beauty school, which I did.
Okay.
And while I was in beauty school, my youngest daughter got pregnant with her.
Okay.
She born in New York. She was born in New York, 1970. And the experience was, the transition was hard because back then in the 60s and the late 50s, a lot of Caribbean women came to the States, migrated to the States for domestic jobs, domestication. And my mother was one of them. She worked in Connecticut and I lived in the Bronx. So I was fortunate that my mother helped me to beauty school. And that was a promise to me if I would go. And she did. She came to New York, and my husband and I lived 100 right in Harlem.
Okay.
And my mother worked in Connecticut as a domestic person. And, you know, she just come in on the weekend and bring my school fee.
Yeah.
And those are some of my emotional moments of my early beginning with how my mother, was only two of us at the time, myself and Wendy's mother.
Okay.
And she left her home and came to New York to help me
And for those of people who know Wendy is, that's your niece.
Yeah, Wendy is my niece. I mentor her a lot because they call her Little Miss Elaine. So it was quite an experience going to school in New York and could not work. But my mother and my husband helped me through during that time. And then after I graduated from Apex Beauty School, then I went to an advanced program, Wilfred Academy on Broadway. So I kept educating myself, advancing myself because I had goals and aspirations that I had to help my sister back home. So I had to make sure that at that time I had 3 kids.
Okay.
My oldest daughter, Denise, and my son, Sheldon, who is now deceased, and Francine, the one that born in New York. So, you know, the combination of all what I wanted to do and I had to do to make it work, it's very rewarding at times when I think about it. I don't even entertain the struggle at that time because I overcame it with my ambition. So moving forward with that ambition, you know, I left New York and I came to Baltimore in 1973 with my 3 kids.
Okay.
And I was searching around to identify with some organization that I can relate to, Caribbean, of course.
Yes.
And being in Baltimore, came to a family, an American family. We didn't have a lot in common, especially with the food.
Well, if I may, why decide to come to Baltimore of all places?
Well, I did not want to go back to Antigua.
Yes.
And my husband and I was going through a separation, and I spoke to a very good friend of mine that I met in beauty school,
Okay.
and she gave me an option.
Mm.
She says, I have an aunt live in, Lord rest her soul, on D live in Baltimore, and my sister live in California.
Okay.
But the key was, she says, if you go to California, I might see you once a year, twice a year, not knowing the distance. Remember, in Antigua, it takes you 20 minutes from east to west,
Yeah.
20 minutes from north to south.
Yeah.
So talking about 14 hours, I was like, I couldn't fathom
Yeah.
that kind of time.
Yeah.
So I told her, well, I'll go to Baltimore. She said, I can come down on weekends and visit you.
Right.
And she did. She
Okay.
used to come down to visit us because my youngest daughter is her goddaughter.
Okay.
And so we were very close.
Yeah.
And it still wasn't enough for me because I needed to identify with my people. In New York, of course,
Yeah.
I got on Brooklyn, Labor Day, St. John Place. I used to live in Brooklyn.
Oh, yeah, I know St. John's.
Yeah, I live at 1650
Yeah.
Lincoln Place. That's right between Ralph and Buffalo.
Yeah.
And all the Trinity them down there
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
party a weekend. So it was a different atmosphere, environment. In New York, coming to Baltimore, don't know nobody, but the person that I gravitated to as an aunt.
Yeah.
And she was such a darling, embraced my kids. So there was a comfort level there because of the way, the acceptability at the time with her. But still, I needed more, and I had to go further. And I told her I'm looking for a job.
Yeah.
She knew I was a hairdresser because her niece and I met in beauty school.
Yes. Yes.
One of the beauty schools. And she took me to this salon, this man, Mr. Baker. And most Baltimoreans know Henry Baker. And he had a salon in Waverly Shopping Center.
Yeah, I don't feel it's nice to work at the Jiffy Lube across the street.
Okay, right across the street.
My first job, actually.
So I started working there for Henry Baker at the salon.
Okay.
And it still wasn't enough. Something was missing.
Yeah.
And one of the young lady, who is Dr. Maxwell, she's a professor at Morgan. And I used to do her hair.
Okay.
Because by working at Henry Baker, there was a bar across called the Beers Den. And the word got out, they got this woman from New York. She's fine and she can do hair. And the word really got out because in New York, we were more advanced in hairstyle than Baltimore was. And I was into hair weaving. And in Baltimore, they wasn't going on with hair weaving. In New York, we were. So I built a clientele real quick because of my art of hairstyling. And I met Dr. Maxwell. She went to Dr. Doris Newton at the time. And I told her I want to go to school. I want to go to college. And I told her the background. I said, well, I dropped out of school in Antigua. Story. And she told me, well, you got to do a GED. And she helped me go through the process.
Okay.
And she helped me. At that time, it was BEOG, Basic Opportunity Grant.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
BOG.
Didn't know
That's
that.
what we got in the 70s and the 80s. And she helped me, and I got into a junior college. She suggested that I go to a junior college. And at that time, it was Bay College of Maryland. Graduated from Bay College of Maryland.
And where was this college?
Bay College of Maryland was on Howard and Center.
Okay.
Howard and Center, parallel to the Greyhound bus station. The Greyhound bus station was there.
Yeah, the old
The old Greyhound. As a matter of fact, the building's still there.
Yeah.
And after we leave there, Center and Howard, we went down to Charles and right there by the Belvedere Hotel. Parallel to the Belvedere Hotel at Charles and I think it's Madison. No, that's not Madison. But anyway, right there, Charles Street, parallel to the Belvedere Hotel. And that's where, we were for a while. And then that became Antioch. Those who live in Baltimore know Antioch College. Antioch College was there. And I graduated from Bay College of Maryland. And then I went into University of Baltimore. While I was there in the first year, there was an opportunity for me to open a salon. All this time was like 1977. I opened my salon June of 1977.
Wow.
1906 North Charles Street. And I stayed there until 2009.
Really?
Yes, 2009 when the city tore down that 100 block of Charles Street, North and Charles. I was there all those years. One building was my beauty shop.
North and Charles, that's right in the corner, I think. Now it's like an open lot.
Yeah, that's where they tore down the building.
Really?
That I tried to get. The Jew people had it and they wasn't selling.
Yeah.
And I didn't have the money, even if they were selling, but I did try.
Yeah.
After Mr. Goldblum died, the sons took over the store. They had 2 stores at the corner.
Yeah.
And then I was the L shape inside. I was there until 2009. The city tore down the building, and I was thinking about retiring anyway. And then I had opened my record shop. First woman in
I heard about this record shop.
Yeah, Scooter G Record. Yeah,
What's the name?
Scooter G.
How you came up with that name?
Well, my son, the Lord bless his soul, he's deceased, and he died in 91. Coming to Carver High School, where he graduated, he had a group, a singing group.
Okay.
And they were Scooter G. And in his memory, I decided I was going to put a couple dollars aside. And I did. And I opened the record shop. And Neil Matai and some of them people, they ran it for me because right next door was the beauty salon.
Okay.
And my daughter Denise and I, and it was 6 of us in the salon, comprehensive salon. We did everything, hair, nails, facial, beauty services. And right next door, actually, the waxman Steve renovated and set up my record shop for me.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, built the pockets to put the albums in. Yes, and it was quite successful. But then the challenges came about when y'all stopped scratching with the LPs and everybody was come back from Trinidad. You got to dub that for me. They're dubbing the music, the latest music. Nobody was coming to buy no more LPs. And the LPs just stopped, and the 45s were hitting or missing. And I was the only Caribbean one at the time. At that time, because Neil them had another one they worked for on Rogers Avenue before me.
I remember that.
That was the first one.
That was the first one on Rogers?
Yeah, Rogers Avenue.
The ones I remember, well, I came here in 97, you know.
Kind of late.
Yeah, I came after the party.
But in terms of, you came after the party. That one in Rogers, when I came to Baltimore, that one was there.
Okay.
And Rogers. And Neil Matai was working there too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I knew the one on Rogers. I knew there was one on 25th Street.
Greenmont and 25th? Was it?
Nah, this was on 25th and Harford Road.
I don't remember that one, but I knew there was one. Breeze had one Greenmont Avenue. He had a record shop there. Yeah. You know, the journey been great. The challenges has been there, but the blessings override all the challenges. And, you know, I know you notice when I write something, I always say my story. Because from very early in life, I realized if you don't project you, if you don't tell people who you are, you will accept who they say you are. And I don't go for that. I know who I am, and I always tell my story. And I teach my kids, tell your story. Don't allow anyone to tell you your story. So I have so much stories, but so many people I met along the journey that helped me, so many. And like I said, with Dr. Delos Maxwell, Professor Morgan, I told him, you know, I ain't finished school. She said, well, here you have opportunity. You got to take the test. Got to go to the GED. So I went, and I didn't have no regrets after that.
Yeah, you did it.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So the record shop, you mentioned the beauty school,
salon.
The beauty salon. So how you got involved in community? Because you've been obviously you with a lot of organizations. So tell me from after well, I guess during that time you actually started getting involved in these different.
Well, I really started when I was in college at Bay College of Maryland. They started the SGA, the Student Government Association.
Okay.
That was like the intro.
Yeah.
Because I like what we had to learn to be an officer of the SGA, Student Government Administration.
Okay.
And I was the vice president. Then the vice president graduated, and I became the president. And as the president of the SGA, I had to learn principles and policies.
Okay.
So the interests, like they say, start tickling my fantasy at that time. The interest, and swell up your head, and coming from a poor family in Antigua and having the opportunity now to learn these level of government and rules and regulation, Robert Rules of Order, principles, policies, you know, it just got to me, and I just wanted to just keep going. So it really initiated that way. And then again, another person that I met was Dr. Louise Johnson. That was about 76, because I graduated in 76. So from 74 to 76, that was like a foundation building right then.
Yeah.
And by the time I came out to 76, before I went into University of Baltimore College, I was invited to a meeting. And the meeting that I went to was the Black Women Consciousness Raising Association.
Okay. Wow.
Yes. Back then, there was a lot of sophisticated ladies that was a part of that.
Yeah.
So networking to that, me feel good then. Like they say, you're rubbing shoulders.
Right.
So, I had that earning for learning, and I did. And identifying with Jackie McLean deceased, and she was Baltimore's controller.
Okay.
She became a very good friend of mine. Then again, I had another mentor with the media, Phyllis Reese. I like to call their name because I want them to see this.
Yes.
Because I always tell them how much appreciative I am of
Yeah.
how they helped me. But Phyllis Reese was the public relation person that does community at Channel 13.
Okay.
Phyllis Reese. But she became Reese.
Yes.
She was Shelton at that time. And I met her at the Black Woman Consciousness Raising Association with Dr. Louise Johnson.
Yes.
So I had all these meetings at certain times, and good for me, the meetings were a lot on Mondays.
Okay.
And most salons are closed on Mondays.
Yeah.
So I had the opportunity, and I went to those meetings.
Yeah.
And the more I developed, the more I were yearning for more, because I just felt good. I didn't feel like there was anything that I couldn't achieve.
Yes.
Still raising my kids, because I'm proud to say my two daughters graduated from Western High School.
Yes.
And that's quite an accomplishment for, a single woman. And my son, he graduated from Carver.
Yes.
So being inspired by so many things around me, it kind of helped me to have my kids grounded. And that's another part of the joy that I encountered and just love. So with the Black Woman Consciousness Raising Association, I went in and I served as a secretary, which I hate secretarial work. I never liked it. But I did it for a while.
Yeah.
And eventually I became the executive director of the national. It became national.
Okay.
We had a charter in California and we had a charter in New Jersey. And that put us on the national status. It was no longer Black Women Consciousness Raising Association. It was the National Black Women Consciousness Raising Association. So going through that process, and it was very political. It was a political, and by then I had met Shirley Pulliam. At the time, she was a nurse, and then she became a delegate.
You seem to know everyone before they make it big.
Yeah, but back then, right. She was a regular delegate, and then she became a senator within her last 15 years on the legislature. And so Shirley, kudos to you. So on the political side, I had Shirley Pulliam, and I had Louise Johnson, Dr. Louise Johnson.
Okay.
Dr. Louise Jones Johnson, husband was an attorney. So again, the environment that I was in, it just made me want what I end up getting.
Imagine floating on the Chesapeake Bay, waves gently lapping, stress melting away. Now picture this, a spa but make it nautical. Welcome to Be Well Boats by Floating Needs. We're not just boats, we're floating sanctuaries of bliss. Drift away your worries with a massage while cruising the coastline. Choose from dockside, open water, or beachfront wellness experiences. Aromatherapy, hot stone massages, henna, scalp treatments. We're redefining relaxation. Why settle for ordinary when you can float to extraordinary? Perfect for birthdays, anniversaries, bridal parties, even waterfront weddings. Located at Canton Waterfront, Baltimore. Ready for your aquatic escape? Call 844-727-BOAT or visit floatingneeds.com. Your relaxation awaits.
Shipping nightmares? Not anymore. Let me spill the tea on stress-free international shipping. Jay's Hassle-Free International is the game changer you've been waiting for. Air, ocean, Caribbean, Dominican Republic. They've got it all covered. And those special rates? Absolutely amazing. Full container or just a corner, their prices will make your wallet do a happy dance. No more headaches over complicated shipping. Just call the shipper lady at 443-927-5816 and watch your worries vanish. Trust me, once you try Jay's Hassle-Free International, you'll wonder how you ever lived without them. Wave goodbye to shipping stress and hello to smooth sailing. Serving Pennsylvania, Delaware, and the DMV. Remember that number, 443-927-5816. Your stress-free shipping journey starts now.
Because the earning was there. And when I'm with them, I listen. And this is one thing I have to say to young people. Whatever you do in life, understand you must be prepared. Learn the policies and procedures. Those is what you need to carry you through. You cannot come in thinking you know it all. It happening. You have to understand the policies and procedures. Once you learn those, you can branch off into any kind of a social, political organization because you've already been grounded. And that's what I tried to tell the young people that come in my life. Be prepared. Prepare yourself. You can do it. But once you do it, and my favorite word, once I learn, nobody can take it away because God gave it. And it's going to stay here. So, I'm excited when I talk about my background. It has nothing to do with nobody else. A lot of them wasn't there. And so I continued through the struggle with different organizations. And the Black Women Consciousness Raising Association, the president had to take a sabbatical away from everything, get herself together. And I had to run it for a while. And I did 2 successful conferences, one at Morgan State University and one at Coppin State University. Yeah, 2 successful conferences. By then, I knew how to organize, and one of my strengths is delegation. Because I learned early, once you delegate, people on the outside, they don't understand. They look at you because you are at the forefront and it's your idea, it's your project. So you got to carry it through. And I'm a firm believer of that. I'm not going to let you fail me. You can't fail me. I got to fail Elaine. And that ain't happening. So when, you bring people in, I delegate. And that makes it so much easier for me. And I learned that it did. And I pursue it. I continue to do it because it worked every time. Same thing with Carnival right now, where we're going to get to the back with the Black Women Consciousness Raising Association. And it went down a little. And then here come the Rosa Pryor Music Scholarship Fund. I was one of the coordinating founder of the Rosa Pryor Music Scholarship Fund. She still is one of the editors at the Afro newspaper, Rosa Pryor, and the Baltimore Times. All the many years, she's still with those 2 papers. And on these people that I'm calling their name, they also been clients of mine. So the connection was established because I let them go nowhere to do the hair. So all them name I done called, every one of them came to Elaine Simon.
I meant to mention too, the hair salon. That's prime real estate too. That's like in the heart of the city.
1906 North Charles. I was right there. I changed the lock twice because they kicked down the door and broke in and stole the air conditioner and all that. And I changed the lock twice. And that many years of it, they only changed the lock twice. And so I was the education director for the Rosa Pryor Music Scholarship, a very successful scholarship program in Baltimore City. The Rosa Pryor Music Scholarship Fund, and with each of them. But the people that I worked with and the founders and the organizers, they still there. So, they know that I talk about the success of the groups because I was there and witnessed, we all struggle. Actually, there's a young Trinidadian that got a scholarship. I think he went to Atlanta Morehouse. I think it's Morehouse. I'm not sure. He got a scholarship from Rosa Pryor Music Scholarship Fund as a panist. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Young Trini.
That person.
I'll get the name for you. He was about 16 when we gave him the scholarship. And we followed him. And when he came out of high school, he went to Atlanta and as a panist, and he got our scholarship. So as I get older, sometimes names at moments slip me, and then I go back and retrack and go research. Because as you see, the book I gave you, 1997, I helped put that together. When you look at that book, you say, well, oh my God, that's 1997. Smoke was the mayor, and it was just a good time. But anyway, back to the Rosa Pryor Music Scholarship Fund. That was another successful program that I initiated. And all that time, I was still studying under the National Beauty Cultures League in Washington, D.C. I got my associate bachelor's from them, my associate master's from them,
Okay.
and my associate doctor's from them.
Wow.
And that was a 4 or 5 year program. I would have to study and do things. Now we all have online
Yeah.
studying. You know, it wasn't online. You do the work, and you got to meet once a month over to Washington at the National Beauty Cultures League office. They had a school there. And those of us that were studying under that program
Yes.
would meet there, and we would have annual conferences. We had to go wherever the conferences are.
Yeah.
And that put me in another level.
Where did you find time to do all of this? 'Cause
Boy,
you're still a single mother.
me find the time and me do it. And as a result of
Yeah.
all that, with the beauty business, I was appointed a state board inspector, state of Maryland. I served 8 years as an inspector for salon. My duties and responsibilities were inspecting salons, barbershops, beauty schools, and I did it for 8 years and still work in my salon.
So wait,
Yes.
so you had your own salon, but go
Yeah,
and inspect others? I mean, that
Oh,
kind
that
of,
was my salon, but see, I had a family-oriented business. Daughter Denise, the one
Yes.
that married to Neil, she ran it. She was a licensed cosmetologist also, so she ran it.
Okay.
One of my nephew girlfriend at the time, they're married now, Michelle. She at Trini. She operated. Two of them were awesome. I would take them to Atlanta, Georgia,
Okay.
to enter competition and win comeback trophy to Baltimore and Philadelphia. Michelle Murphy and
But-
Denise Simon.
But actually, I gotta ask, because some people might say that might be a conflict of interest, because you're a salon owner and yet you're a state inspector.
Oh, that was later on.
Oh, that later on.
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
later.
okay.
But it's no problem. I still had my salon.
Yeah.
It's not a criteria for it.
Okay.
It's the job specs
Yeah.
and your qualification. That's what they look at.
Yeah.
And again, you know I'm very vocal.
Yeah.
And those are the kind of attributes that people admire
Yes.
when they feel your goal orientated
Yeah.
towards something specifically. You know, you really get some help because
But I want to ask you though, as an inspector, what's some of the things you came across that the average person?
boy,
Oh,
I
it
was
was a-
so
a
I
slow
was
one
so
to look-
I was so upset.
Uh-huh.
Like my second year, I did
Yeah.
it for 8 years,
Okay.
and I chose not to continue
Yeah.
because the salons, the level of professionalism that I came through was like 50% below how it started. The younger people in the salons were not in. They did not do some of the duties that their textbook and their license require them to do. For
Okay.
instance, I will go to inspect a salon.
Yes.
They learn you. Once I come in the door, somebody's going to say, Inspector. And you're not dumb, you're not blind, and you see them trying to sweep hair
Yeah.
off the floor. They know the rules. You're not supposed to have hair on the floor.
Yeah. Tell us the rules. Tell us the rules. I want to know. 'Cause listen, we have a lot of women that.
Okay, there are their state rules
Yeah.
and there are rules that you learn when you're in beauty school, and
Yes.
they really prepare you in beauty school
Mm.
because you have to work. The state control or mandate all the salons
Yes.
for the primary reason
And if
of
I may,
safety.
salon includes barbershops too, right?
Yes, oh
Okay.
yes, oh
all
yeah,
right,
oh yeah.
good. Mm.
They all go to the same
Same- All right.
licensing.
All right.
Licensed. But the reason why the state is so hard on salon and beauty salon, because they have various salons. You got body salons and nail salons and beauty salons, where some could be comprehensive. All is done in one place,
Mm.
and you have some places just do hair. But the rules that is governed by the state is all about sanitation.
Okay.
Sanitation, sanitation, sanitation.
Yes.
There's nothing in between it
Mm.
because of having germs. You cannot see germs with your naked eye.
Yes.
You know that.
Yes.
So germs can be spread, and then you have a outbreak of certain types of diseases. For instance, each salon must have a barbicide jar,
Yes. The little
and
green.
the green,
Yeah.
green bluish,
Yeah.
and that sanitizes. You have to have a process with your combs. You cannot use one comb 2 times. If your comb drop on the floor, you take it up and you get another one.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. In my days, you couldn't put no combs in your pocket and all that stuff. All that I've seen the view. When I go to inspect and I see those things,
Yeah.
oh God, I used to be so upset. But anyway,
Yeah.
I was there to educate them. I was there to make sure if they didn't follow the regs
Yeah.
from the state, I give them a ticket and the state make money.
Yeah.
And then after a while, you get tired charging the same salon.
Yeah, same
But
thing.
they don't do nothing better.
Yeah.
The toilets, you go in there, you're not supposed to see no ring around the toilet.
Yeah.
All this is in their handbook. So it's not that they don't know.
Yeah.
I can't walk in the barber shop. I hate the barber shop for this.
Yeah, well, you know the brothers listening right now, because
They know I'm telling the truth.
well, go
Because
ahead.
I'm talking to the world right
Yeah.
now, and I don't have time not to tell the truth.
All right.
And that used to be my pet peeve, because I don't know, some of them, a lot of them did not go to a licensed school,
Ah.
which is okay,
Yeah.
because a lot of them was great in artistic
Yeah.
design, cutting hair.
So they do the test. And
That was it. They know how to cut hair.
Yeah.
But then the principles
yeah.
of maintaining and preserving what the state required,
Yeah.
they missed that because
Okay.
they did not get it.
Ah.
They did not get it. And some went on to get it,
Yeah.
and they were more successful. But those that weren't, it was a problem.
Yeah.
Because I walk into a salon, and as soon as I enter, they're trying to clean up. You can't clean up because I already see
Yeah.
towel on the floor. Already see you already done 2 haircuts.
Yeah.
And I can estimate how much hair on the floor. You just done 2 haircuts. You're supposed to have barbicide to spray your clippers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I go and I hold up, I take it up, shake it,
Yeah.
because that's my job.
Yeah.
Because I have a supervisor
Yeah.
that she decides when she go and double check the salons in my area
Yeah.
that I have to inspect. I don't know. But somebody tell me, this white lady came that day when you left. A white lady came. Right away, I know it's my supervisor.
Yeah.
But that's her job, to make sure I'm doing my job.
Yeah.
And God knows I'm going to do my job.
Yeah.
You know, so those are some of the things that the barbers. I shake the barber side can empty. There's another one over there. Shake that empty.
Yeah.
No, that's what you have to keep the clippers clean, because the clippers can nip you when
Yes.
you're marking,
Yes.
and
Yes.
you could have a little bit of blood
Yeah.
with that clipper.
Man.
Yes, this is real core, because it happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
Sometimes some people have a lot of bumps.
Yeah.
And when the blade of the clippers hit the bump, what do you think gonna happen?
Man.
Okay, good.
See, that's
So-
not a Rasta.
Well, I mean, these are the facts. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
the beauty schools that they have around now, I don't know what's going on, but the students of cosmetology and
Yeah.
the barbering, when they come out, it's just like, hey man, that's a job. They've
Yeah.
been cutting hair before they went in that school. They went there so they can get their license.
Yeah.
But the principles, I start noticing going down, and then I start to have confrontation, and then I'm afraid now,
Yeah.
because these guys are different to the ones I knew in New York.
Yeah.
When I work in New York on 125th Street between Lenox and Fifth Avenue,
Yeah.
the guy, the barber shop was in the front and the beauty shop was in the back.
Yeah.
We had respect for each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we respect the profession. But now they don't care. They do hair. I say, what you mean do hair? I used to lecture Carver on cosmetology. I used to go there Monday and Thursday.
Yeah.
And I stopped going because of the manner in which the cosmetology student at Carver Vocational High School was behaving. Miss Johnson and Miss Bird, those were the teachers there.
Yeah.
They invite me to come in and do lectures on those days. I go in there Monday morning, the girls them spread out like this, long nails, hair down, spread out like this on the desk.
Yeah.
Okay, I let them go to for a while. And then once I come in, I don't want you sprawling out on the desk.
Yeah.
Come here for that. I didn't. And I make it known.
Yeah.
So I have my challenges, but I impart a lot of knowledge and experiences to my life.
Yeah.
So I'm not the only benefactor of everything that I learned. I pass it on to many, because a lot of those students from Carver end up working for Touch of Paris over the years. Oh yes.
Okay.
And it was real great with the cosmetology. And I worked for Johnson's product for like about 5 years. I was a technician.
Yes, I saw that.
Technician, you saw that?
Yes,
Yeah, Johnson's product. And again, you go for training. away to Chicago,
Yeah.
a Johnson's product. They call us platform artists.
Okay.
You know, when a new product comes out, we had to take the product and introduce it to the distributor and the manufacturer. And they will set up these workshops where we will demonstrate the benefit, the features, and the benefit of
yeah.
the product. So I did that too for Johnson's product. Loved it. Johnson's product was a black product, and I loved doing it. And it was weekend. Friday night, I would go to wherever they send me
Yeah.
in my region. And Saturday, I would meet with the distributor for that company
Yes.
in that area, and they will have a workshop set up for 1 o'clock Saturday and 1 o'clock on Sunday.
Yeah.
So that was my weekend gig, like they call it.
Oh.
So all these were just experiences, and I just learned so much from them and just love them.
Yeah.
I don't miss them though, because I'm too old now. I be fighting in the salon with folks.
I tell you what,
Because I tell Jackie them, you know, I'm at 35 now, and I try to tell them, you know, don't challenge me with it and you ain't bringing no sponsors.
yeah.
Because I'm not going to let you fail me. When I walk away from this carnival, it must be on a level where those of you who wants to just carry it forward.
Ready? 10 minutes thought. Okay, thought. All right. So I want to ask you this question. Baltimore Association of Caribbean Organization. ACO?
Baco.
Baco. Could never get it right. Baco. That was under Kurt Smoke.
Yes.
So,
That was under his influence.
yeah.
And ironically, this interview would come up now because yesterday I posted on Facebook a picture with Kirk Smoke, myself, and Charles Dutton,
Okay.
The Rock. It's
Yeah,
on
The Rock.
Facebook
Yeah.
because I had went to a fundraiser for
Yeah.
Mayor Smoke at that time.
Okay.
That picture pop up
Yeah.
and I just posted.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Baltimore Association of Caribbean Organization, that came about as a result, again, with all the political organizations I was in. I had connection at various agencies. And Kirk Smoke, one of his aunts, I was doing her hair.
Okay.
So it was much easier when they were looking for people for volunteer in his campaign.
Yeah.
I was number one of them.
Yeah.
And his personal secretary, when he was state's attorney, was my client.
Okay.
State's attorney.
You got some good clients, man.
I sure did. I call y'all name. Joan Kess, that's
Okay.
her name. She worked for Kirk Smoke as his secretary for the state's attorney's office. And Kurt leave the state's attorney's office and run for mayor and won. So the connection, the transition continued.
Yeah.
One of the first interview I did with the Sun paper was with Joan Kess. They heard about Elaine Simon and they came to the salon, and that particular young lady, Kirk Smoke, is still with the mayor today.
Yeah.
You know, he's the president of the University of Baltimore, and she's still there with him right now.
Wow.
Yes, my secretary graduated with her bachelor's 23, and last year she got her master's and went to University of Baltimore.
Okay.
With Kirk Smoke, yes. And that's another thing I'm proud of. My 13 years of service with my secretary. Thank you, Shawnee.
Shawnee. All right. So let's transcend in these times. How you got involved in the carnival
Organization. Well, I always attend activities as it relates to my culture.
Yeah.
Because culture first with Elaine Simon. So I knew what was going on.
Yeah.
A young man came into my record shop. Well, I was in the record shop. He went in the beauty shop, and they told him I was next door.
Okay.
I had a door from you go to.
Yeah.
And it was a young man just came from Trinidad, Tony McFarlane.
Okay.
John McFarlane brother.
Yeah.
And Tony said he would like to talk to me. And we spoke, and he told me that he know, and I'm quoting him, he knows that I'm in with the mayor. That was his word. And they are trying to get the carnival. And they think if I talk to the mayor, he will help them. Tony McFarlane and I had that initial conversation. In the meantime, they were putting together a commission.
What year was this?
Well, that was 97.
Yeah.
So I could freely say 96, 95, 96.
Okay.
Because that book that I showed you, that was 97.
And Charm City Greatest Show.
Yes, that was back then. I was the chairperson of the board of directors.
Okay.
We're not the president yet. Tony McFarlane was the president. And we got together, Innes Golden, Stephen Barkley, Winston Barkley, some of the traditional Trini
Yes.
that's been here doing pockets of cultural activities. So Tony McFarlane brought us together and asked me to talk to the mayor. Of course, I was excited because I was in that environment.
Yes.
And when I had an opportunity, I spoke to Mayor Smoke, and I told him my group would like the city to help us with sponsorship.
Yes.
And that's when he told me that he'd been reviewing some requests.
Yes.
But at that time, it was Clarkey. It wasn't T-Tab. It was Clarkey and Derek Charles, the Guyanese.
Yeah.
They were trying to get money from the city. We were trying to get money. Ken Tappan, Innes Golden, and Tony McFarlane had wrote a letter to the city,
Okay.
again trying to get funding.
So different people trying to get funded
Yes,
to the
and
carnival.
that's when Baco came about.
Okay.
So that's when Kirk Smoke and a one-on-one had suggested if we get all together under one umbrella,
Yes.
he could help that group.
Yeah.
And we started. As a matter of fact, it got so good that Kirk administration put $10,000, I think it was 97, into a fund for us,
Okay.
the group, our group, with Tony McFarlane being our president. And it was specific that grant was 5,000 for that year and 5,000 for the following year. But what the mayor did, there was a counseling group on Rogers Avenue. I can't remember the name of it. He put the money, his department put the money in that agency.
Yeah.
And Tony McFarlane would submit vouchers based on the 5,000 to that agency. So we have had some good opportunities as Caribbean,
Yeah.
you know. And when I think back how hard it was and how it is now, it saddens my heart because we should be more advanced
Yeah.
with the strive that has been made as Caribbean, not Antigua. And I'm from Antigua. Most people don't even know that because I don't promote Antigua that way.
Yeah.
I'm a Caribbean person and I love my culture.
Yeah.
And that's what I do, promote the culture, you know. And that's how Baco again came about.
Okay.
I independently call all the people that I know was involved with their organization, the Barbados organization. At that time, Glenn Williams was the president.
Okay.
And I talked to him. Trinidad and Tobago Association at that time was Mike Gibbs. He was the president. And then Jamaica Association was Rick Nugent.
Yeah.
Spoke to Rick. I did spoke to Mr. Clarkey, Lord rest his soul.
Yeah.
And of course, I was the DMV president for the Antigua and Barbuda National Association. I was serving as the president. So we came together under the auspices of Tony McFarlane at that time, and we went out in Carlton Best and charter the organization. So these guys were there, and they're all Trini. I was the only one not a Trini, and that's why I get so much licks. But I learned from them.
Yeah.
Because it's a learning process.
Yes.
It was a learning process. And I don't have no regrets. We don't see eye to eye on everything. But the knowledge and the experiences that I obtained, it's unmeasurable and there's no dollar sign to it. It was just super. And I don't have no regrets.
Yeah.
But that's what I thrive on today. And I can sit back and tell, preach, teach, however you call it, to others how it can be done. The same way I did it, you can do it too.
Yeah.
And that's one of my motto.
Okay. Okay.
You know.
So you see, it started at remember the transition between Baco and the Baltimore Carnival Association?
Well, we were all the same people.
Yeah.
We were all the same people at one point.
Yeah.
And after a while, you know, it's kind of hard to hold an organization together.
Yeah.
Very hard because of the different attitudes, styles, concepts, projections that you might have somebody else's, and they're not willing to combine them for the benefit of all. And sometimes that starts a breakdown. And once that breakdown starts, a lot of time it does dissipate.
Yeah.
And that started to happen. And in the process of that, I being who I am was still there.
Yeah.
And Terrence from the Blue Caribbean, Stephen Barkley, they said, well, look, it's not working out this way, and Carlton Best, let's try it this way.
Yeah.
So it was like in the island we say, we Brockway from over there and come over here. You know, that kind of thing. And it was a little more cohesive.
Okay.
We kind of was on the same page. Mike Gibbs worked for the city. Carlton Best worked for the city. Semper, TNT Steve worked for the city.
Semper,
So we had certain people in the pocket of the city that helped us, because all that you had to call somebody that you know to help you.
Yeah.
Because everybody don't know you, but they work in there and they can help, especially Semper.
Yeah.
You know, Semper is one of the person in our community that is very underrated.
Yeah.
Because Semper is so low key, and it's okay.
I saw for the conference, man.
It's still playing, and you see how the mayor love them. The mayor's press conference. Semper is one of those I call the quiet giant. Now you can't call me a quiet giant, because I'm not a quiet giant. You're gonna understand what's going on with Elaine. But Semper is one of those people that, you know, that I give praises to, because he loves his culture.
Yeah.
When I go to Semper, me start cry before me see. When I have the money, but I want the band for come. And because of the culture, Semper is right there. And he ain't just started. He ain't just started. So it was quite an experience working with those guys. Ken Toppin, Innes Golden, Neil Matai, all these guys, man, they were there, but they on the sideline. They're on the sideline. And I always try to say, well, you know, how long you going to stay on the sideline, a cheerleader? You got to put the ball in the net, you know.
All right.
And they make their contribution, because it take a little bit of everybody. Complete it. And that's what I really like. Being able to go and tell Neil, I want to come on your radio station, WEAA. I would like to come on 7 o'clock, because I know that's what you do. So I would like to come on Saturday afternoon, 7 o'clock. Like when I first met you. Look how I met you. I met you about 10 years ago.
Yeah, maybe sometime.
I came all the way to DC for an interview.
Yeah, maybe sometime. Yeah, maybe sometime.
You know?
Maybe sometime.
And that's what I thrive on. The knowledge and the experiences from everybody. And make me who I am. And I love it.
Well, we definitely appreciate you. So, what's some of the challenges and misconceptions people have about being the president of the carnival? Because that's a lot of responsibilities.
Well, being the president of Baltimore Carnival, I was elected, believe it or not, 202.
Okay.
My mother passed, Lord rest her soul.
Condolences.
And I went to Antigua and to bury my mother. And when I came back, I was asked, would I be up for the challenge of running for the president? Going to be an election. At that time, I was the president of the Antigua and Barbuda National Association in Washington, D.C., DMV. So again, being the president, understanding policies and procedures, Robert Rules of Order, the governance, it was no problem. So I accepted the challenge. And I was being challenged by another person who well known in the community. But because of my Elaine Salmon political experience, put that into play. I lobbied for people that I know to come and join the organization. $25 to join the organization.
Okay.
And you come in to vote. Because 2 meetings you must attend from Soca Palace. Our election was held in Soca Palace.
Yeah, that's on Greenwood Avenue, I think.
Yes, darling. One thing I can say that I thank my God for is the knowledge and how I retain and can at any time disperse information. I love it.
You have a very good memory.
And I thank God for that. Because I do. You know, and I don't apologize on it because it's unique. And I recognize that. I don't take it for granted. Man didn't give it to me. And I challenge man on it. I say, you mad? Call him up there. Tell him take it away. You ain't taking it away. I ain't going to allow you. Straight up. So we had election. Right in Soca Palace, and I became the president. And the Bacchanal start from then up to now.
What was the Bacchanal initiative?
Well, the biggest thing was, and again, no reflection, but it was what it was. She from Trinidad, she Antigua, and she don't know what she do. And up to today, a good 75% of the Caribbean in Baltimore, they will still say that right now. This many years, I still don't know what me do. And I make it happen every year with no sponsor. Absolutely zero sponsor. But I make it happen. Because people like you and all the others who is willing to make it happen, step up to the plate. And where the dollars have to come out, in-kind contribution. It works every time with the IRS. Cake enlisted. You can list it with the IRS in-kind contribution. $2,000 of your time. You gave it to the carnival. You write that off. Now you know. And then I give you a double.
Okay, but you mentioned sponsorship. What's some of the challenges you believe you guys don't have sponsors? Because some people say, why is, the carnival making all this money, they're seeing all the people, in the city,
Carnival
whatever.
don't make no money. Carnival don't make no money. To attest to that statement, there's a woman, by the way, the president of Atlanta. They had their carnival Memorial Weekend. She's an Antiguan.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Know her family well. She's the president. And they just established a group of carnival presidents and organizers in this group.
Yeah.
And
This group is
just established about
presidents of all the carnivals in America.
She is, yes.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yes. I will send you a link. And I followed them closely to see what we're doing different to them.
Yeah.
We are not doing anything different.
Yeah.
They have a problem with sponsors. What my experiences have been in Baltimore when I initially start seeking sponsors, what I found out, the sponsorship list that most companies put out, and everybody put it online now. There's no byline in there for Carnival Caribbean Festival. There's nothing in there. It's one of those things, other, okay? So when you fill in other, that's not where the funding are going. The funding are going for most sickle cell, heart disease, different type of medical, a lot of that.
Yeah.
Or student sponsored scholarships.
Yeah.
And anytime you go online, check it out.
Yeah.
So what we do as a cultural activity, it's no place in John Hopkins sponsorship package on internet to put that in.
Yeah.
So you have to write it in. And once they get it, you ain't get nothing. We found out that's how that works.
Yeah.
So Carlton Bass taught me how to gravitate to Guinness, Red Stripe, Guinness, Red Stripe, and Heineken.
Yeah.
Those were the three that I started out with as the president that would give us product, and we would sell the product in exchange for visibility through the weekend of Carnival sponsors. So the exchange was great. When Air Jamaica was running, Air Jamaica was one of our big sponsors, annual sponsor. Thanks to Claire Robinson at that time, she would make sure that we get raffle tickets that we would sell, keep the money as sponsor. And that's how we started out, and we built on those. But after a while, take for instance Air Jamaica, stopped going to the Caribbean Island, boom, we lost the sponsorship. Then as the 90s, late 90s came in, well, the 2000 came in, a lot of Heineken's, Guinness, and Red Stripe. It seems like the manufacturers was having problem with the distributors.
Yeah.
Because the distributors were saying that the manufacturers gave us 300 cases of Red Stripe, cut them out. So they wasn't getting the money that they could have received when you purchase your alcohol or have them with the liquor store to sponsor the bar. So we've been through all that. And then so we learned how it really worked.
Yeah.
And that became a sticking point with the liquor companies. So all of a sudden, they start reduce the amount cases that they would give us.
Yeah.
I remember Clement Slammer. I remember like yesterday. He told me I sent him all the way in Silver Spring for 50 cases of beer. And he come back and fuss with me because he think he had the truck.
Yeah.
He think he need help for load up and give 50 cases of Heineken.
That's what they gave us, 50 cases?
They came down to that. Heineken's did. Yeah. And then eventually they sent us a letter that they could no longer afford to sponsor us. So you check it out. A lot of these carnivals not getting no sponsors. They're not. And it's not enough money. For instance, I can talk about Baltimore. I know what I read, what I told you about.
Yeah.
And then I equate it. But here in Baltimore, whenever people say, Carnival make money, throw something out to you. And this is fact. The biggest bill we have for Carnival is that parade.
Not to mention, if I may add, is the only parade this size in the city.
Yeah. It's the only one. But then you still have challenges because you're Caribbean, first and foremost, and you have AFRAM, an artscape that is city-funded organization.
Yeah.
So we are there. But again, our people must show the city that they need this parade. They need the carnival.
Yeah.
And you can't show it by every year. Elaine Simon pulled Mayor Brandon Scott to the side. You heard me talk to him at the press conference and thank him for what he did this year.
Yeah.
Had he not come in to help us this year, I had already planned to make the announcement. We was not going to have a carnival because we didn't have no sponsor. December, January, we coming into January. Once Trinidad Carnival done, we go into full gear.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, the communication and the correspondences start. I pulled in Smalley about 5 years ago to help develop a marketing plan.
DJ Smalling, yeah.
Smalley, Reynolds Small, to help develop that plan to help us. And then here come the pandemic. And then when the pandemic was over, we had a big flood at Druid Hill Park. Put us under further. I mean, we saw a bill, $50,000. $50,000 reading the park, Druid Hill Park. Got all these holes, the flood, rain that year, rain from 2 o'clock till 6.
Yeah.
The city tow truck got stuck. The city's tow truck got stuck, and they had to bring another tow truck to get our Baltimore City tow truck.
So that whole fiasco that took place, they billed you guys for that?
We had to pay half. Well, half of $50,000, that's $25,000. Where are we getting that from?
Yeah.
We lose money because 2 o'clock, the city sent to turn off the electrical equipment.
Yeah.
Because it was thunderstorm.
Yeah.
You remember?
Yeah, I remember correctly.
And it didn't stop raining till 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
And the inspector told me, I'll be back around 6. And if it's okay, we'll turn it on and y'all can go till 9. 3 hours didn't help us.
Yeah.
Because people had left, the grounds were muddy, cars were stuck in. When I saw the pictures of the field, it's a baseball field, and it was hard, but it's nothing. The cars get stuck.
Yeah.
They had to come back Monday to get some of those cars towed out of that thing. So that's why they say y'all never coming back in there. They didn't really blame us because we didn't have the thunderstorm, but the cars were not supposed to park. A lot of them were told not to park
on the grass.
Yeah. So now, boy, they don't want to hear nothing. It's all about copper grass.
Well, let me ask you this though. It seemed to be like a back and forth between Druid Hill Park and Lake Clifton over the years. Because originally it was in Druid Hill and then it moved to Clifton, then back to Druid Hill?
Yeah, well, initially it was a tragedy. April of that year, there's a 13-year-old young lady from Cherry Hill.
Okay.
And she got electrocuted right there. And that was the April Carnival of July. You only have about April, May, June, 2 full months.
Yeah.
I got the letter that we will have to relocate the carnival because they have to dig up the park, that area, which is the baseball field, the diamond, refurbish everything.
Yeah.
So it was 5 years that park was closed down, 5 full years.
Okay.
So they had to put us someplace.
Okay.
So they took us over to Lake Clifton, which we were kicking and butting and fighting. Because now remember, we from the west side, the Blue Caribbean and all that action. And we over there, and it was the letters and letters that they didn't want the noise, and they didn't want all them naked women in the streets and the Alameda, and I had to go to meetings and all kind of stuff to fight. I mean, these are some of the fights that I've been to. Ever police station is in the district. The commander or chief of that police station, you have to meet with him. He has to get letters from the community.
Tired of coming home to a mess? Sick of your office looking like a disaster zone? Say hello to MNS Pro Clean LLC. We're not just cleaners, we're mess-busting superheroes. From stubborn stains to dusty corners, we tackle it all. Our team swoops in with eco-friendly products and state-of-the-art equipment, leaving your space spotless. Whether it's your cozy apartment or bustling office, we've got you covered. No job too big, no grime too tough. Imagine walking into a sparkling clean space without lifting a finger. That's the M&S Pro Clean Magic. Don't waste another minute scrubbing. Call us now, 443-509-9418, and experience the Pro Clean difference. Your future self will thank you. M&S Pro Clean, where cleanliness meets excellence.
Hey, DMV, is your car giving you trouble? Look no further than MB Auto Repair LLC. They are not just fixing cars, they are reviving dreams on wheels. From mysterious engine noises to stubborn transmissions, their expert, certified, and experienced mechanics tackle it all. From oil changes and maintenance, brake service, tire service, etc., affordable pricing with transparent quotes. That's the MB Auto difference. They are fast, reliable, and honest. Don't let car troubles stall your life. Swing by MB Auto Repair LLC. Your vehicle deserves the best, and so do you. MB Auto Repair LLC, your car's new best friend in the DMV. Call today 410-444-0500.
Agreeing to allow you to be in their district. I have to go with my members to attend those meetings. As a matter of fact, just last week, Richard Chippy had to get me a few letters from the Park Heights area to send to Baltimore City. They have to get that. The neighborhood has to be involved in you coming there with your trash and your liquor bottle, your beer bottle. We pay the city to clean it, but it still happens.
Yes.
And these are some of the things that the community don't realize has to be dealt with before the weekend of Carnival when you walk up on the street.
Yeah.
Because if these things are not ironed out, ain't gonna be nothing. It ain't gonna be nothing. Because your constituents in that district, they done send letters to their delegates, their senator, their Congress. Them don't know, they don't want all that. Especially over Lake Clifton.
Yeah.
We fought every year with the YMCA. The Y did treat us bad. They sent letters. They called me and I misbehaved on one of those phone calls because she disrespect me. Oh yeah, been there, done that.
Wow.
Yes, they say they wrote a letter, and I'm quoting what was already said, that we defecated on John Hopkins purchased that school.
Yes.
Right there, parallel to the Y. They say they met defecation and kind of stuff in the letter came from the Y. And then they called me, talking stuff to me. Man, I zapped out like a crazy woman and the woman. And nobody else called me since then. I was so happy. Yeah.
Let's talk about the parade route. Over the years, it seemed like it been long, short, changed here. You know.
Money. Okay. The parade is usually between $40,000 and $50,000. The parade has nothing to do with the festival in Druid Hill Park. Separate entities.
Yes.
The parade we used to start at the Blue Caribbean.
Yes.
And when I get mad and they try to beat me up, I remind everybody, when Elaine Simon, became the president, I had 3 bands in the 5400 block of Park Heights. Bobby and Ming from D.C., Lenora Cumberbatch, the Lord rest her soul. She had a children group and she brought some masqueraders. And Jackie Cumberbatch from D.C. and 2 marching bands from Park Heights.
Yeah.
That's how I started. Now we have 25, 26, 27 bands. So just look at what happened over the years with all the challenges. But I stay focused. And the folks that want to work with me, those are the ones I work with. The rest, they challenge me, and I'm there for the challenge also. Because I want to know what are your contributions. Leave me alone. I know what mine is. I know what my challenges are. And I'm still happy because the people that I work with are there for me. Anytime I call you, you're always there. You were the first one that had your broadcast live from the site, from the parade route one year.
Well, thanks for, letting people know,
It has not been done. You were right on the road with the parade live. But people knew at 4 o'clock where the parade was. It was getting ready to go in the park. Thank you for that.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah. But we moved because of the money.
Yeah.
They moved us from the Blue Caribbean when we couldn't pay the $19,000 that year. they put us to Cold Spring and Park Heights. I don't know if you remember that, but I hope folks that's watching it, before you doubt me.
I remember that. That's by the
go.
Rite Aid, right in the corner there.
Right to the corner by the Rite Aid.
Yeah.
And Park Heights. They put us there. They notified me after
Yeah.
we had already connected with the band, because when you have band launching, by then you need all the information and give it to your bands.
Yeah.
I get the letter that the parade will start. No input. It will start at Cold Spring and Park Heights. And that's where we started. And we were there until they move us to we were there when they moved us to Lake Clifton. And after Lake Clifton, they closed down Lake Clifton because Morgan State University purchased the school, which is the parking lot that we had to utilize. So they move us and they put us now at Park Circle at the intersection of Park Heights, Wrightstown Road, and Jude Park Lake Drive. So they're paying the money for the police. One of the things that Baltimore City does is give us 75 police to man the parade route. 75. Those officers are just to contain law and order, traffic control for the parade. Has nothing to do with Judith Park. They don't even go in there. Once you enter Judith Park, those officers off duty. They usually go in from about 9 until 6.
Okay.
They ask us to get off the road by 5. Now remember, these are permits that I got to sign to comply with what Baltimore City says. Last year, almost 7 o'clock, the band was still coming in. In the park. I was in my trailer and I get a visit from the lieutenant. What time is your permit for? I said 9 to 5. 12 to 5. 12 to 5. Then he showed me on his phone
the permit.
A drone picture.
A drone, okay.
That all the people was going toward 25th and Hartford, end up there. Do you have permit for that crowd? No, sir. My permit stops at Druid Hill Park.
Okay.
That's what a sign off area is, a permit that you are accountable in case anything go wrong. They want to know, what went wrong, how it went wrong. I said, sir, I knows nothing about that crowd. But he's standing in my trailer. Showing me on the phone that the drone had took the picture of all the people going toward there. With the artists that we pay to bring. Keep on the truck, going that way, and the crowd gone with it. And they come challenge me. And I don't know nothing about it because I was so tired. I was in there because it was hot. So challenges again. In between, in the beginning, at the end, it always come back to the organizer. The city and the state don't care about you and him and it. They want that one signature that they can send their officers to for whatever goes wrong. And that's the part that really painful, because you can't always have the answers because you're not a part of what other folks are doing. When he showed me that picture and I see all them people, me look at the park, and nobody in the park that Saturday afternoon. And we still have to pay. And he asked me if I got permit for that crowd. No, sir. The permit that I requested, Park Circle, into Druid Park. That's the noise ordinance that I went and pick up. Nothing at all was going all that way. So, people enjoy it, and then you get the stress.
Let's talk about the difference between the parade route and the park itself. Well, a lot of people don't know that people from Baltimore, the difference between the actual parade route, which is free for the public, and the park itself, the enclosed portion with the stage and so forth, the food court. Like, what's the difference and the importance of people supporting that?
Well, the difference with the parade route, the parade is free. You want to dance, you find out whose band you can get into. We Caribbean know the process. But other people don't, and sometimes they even try to get in the bands and they put them out. But anyway, the parade is a portrayal of the artistry of the Caribbean culture. And we pride that because it gives wide range of the different islands representing. So that's a part of the joy of the parade. Now, when the parade comes into the park, we rent the park to have enclosed our vendors and our activities, because we're not at a point where we can say everybody coming free.
Yeah.
We can't. If we get a couple good sponsors, then we probably could do that.
Yeah.
But right now we have to pay.
Yeah.
Now, the parks, Baltimore, Druid Hill Park, and Lake Clifton, they do not have electricity.
Okay.
We have to get those 100 Ks generated to provide the vending quarters
Yeah.
with electricity, and then another one for the stage,
Yeah.
usually my trailer. Those are what we have to do. We just can't have it open. Then we have to have security to make sure that nobody take the tent that we rent from the city. All those are money. Overnight security. You have to have enough, because when you go the next morning and people go in Druid Hill Park and steal all them tents,
Wow.
that's another bill for the organization.
Yeah.
So we have to have security to guard them things at night.
Yeah.
You know, and the vendors, they're there. We have to protect them. We ask them to have some insurance, but most of them don't.
Yeah.
So we have to protect those vendors, because according to the health department, Baltimore City Health Department, based on what they told me
Yeah.
several years ago, 60% of the vendors, our vendors, are from out of town, out of Baltimore. So you see, we have to make sure that we go beyond the beyond to ensure
Yeah.
the safety of those people, help to protect their product, because we rely on them to come annually. And then in terms of the inside now, everything that we need, we have to furnish. Electricity. Like I said, they don't have, the parks don't have that electricity. Years ago, you could plug it here, plug it here.
Yeah.
You got to get those generators. It's 100 days, not 25 days.
Yeah. They're pretty expensive.
You know, and we got to get enough of those and smaller ones to make sure that we stay smooth Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah. So many questions I want to ask, but for the sake of time, you've been the president for how many years now?
Too many years to mention. Every time I say me quit, them say no, I will not have no election. You're doing a good job. So because there's a required need, I just hanging in there. And I got my backup, my young people that does the media work, including you. Thank you. And so it's enticing and encouraging. And I stay. And the election is only done among the board of directors. That's based on the charter. The charter, the bylaws. It's done on that level. So they have tried the coup, and the group had got together in my absence and decided that they
A coup?
yeah, they plan a coup. They invite all the members to throw out Elaine Simon, and when they went to the two, they say, not Elaine. Y'all can go down City Hall. She got on there act like she owns City Hall. So they tried the coup, and the members decided, the executive, whose money was tied up.
Yeah.
Because again, when you don't have no sponsor, you got to get these people money.
Yeah.
And they have the right to decide how they want that organization to function within the realms of, regulation.
So I'm going to wrap it up. Over the years, you had partnerships. Of course, DC Carnival is no longer. So DC teamed up with Baltimore. Now it's Baltimore One Love Caribbean Carnival. This year there's also a new partnership, if I stand to be corrected on that, if you can elaborate, the role of the city with the carnival this year.
Well, I'm proud now, and I did at the press conference thank the mayor. Last year when I saw the bill from previous year, I was nervous and I didn't know what to do, because the members nobody had no more money, and 2025 was fast approaching.
Yeah.
And I went to an event and I saw the mayor and I spoke with him, and we agreed I will not publicize it until he gets an opportunity to see what he could do for the organization. And I did not. I didn't tell none of my members anything, because I did not want to breach that trust.
Yeah.
And eventually I told them straight up why. And the mayor gave me a point person that will work with me, and there are certain things were required of me for the organization legally that I had to produce everything, beautiful PowerPoint, even though I'm not high tech like that. I knew what I wanted, and I had the material, and the mayor commended on the PowerPoint that was presented. And my secretary, thanks to her, she know them kind of things. But I know what I want to put in there. From 30, 40 years, I want it right in that PowerPoint. So he got that, and his legal team took it over, and they decide what they're going to promote and produce. And our lawyer, the Carnival Association lawyer, met and with the city's lawyers, and they went back and forth over the agreements.
Okay.
And again, I didn't share it. It was none to share because you put it out there to one person. By the time they put a spin on it, I'll be back in Antigua. So, they took certain things from us and assured us that this year, taking certain entities and produce it, that will give us hopefully, it will give us an opportunity to raise some money. So that's what we're looking forward to. So that was a saving grace from Brandon Scott. And as you heard at the press conference, he is very proud of Carnival. And you heard what I said. He told me he was a boy on Park Heights Gallery when the parade was coming down the street. And he recalled all these people dancing in the street. So you can see his attachment and his appreciation for the cultural aspect of the parade. And I'm just grateful that he did stepped up, and thank him and his staff, his department heads that been meeting with me and a few of my team, most virtually, because everybody went virtually. And we're at a point now where in 1 month from today, we will have our day party, and I'll wrap it up with that. The day party is Friday, July the 11th, from 2 to 10. We have some of your people. I don't know these artists. The biggest jewelry artist, King Asabantan and Peanut. Do you know them? I don't know them.
I think Grenadian,
And we have DJs, the Spice Team, Soca Trini Boom, and more to come. Double D say he gonna make it work. And that's for the Friday, our day party. So we're asking you to join us, support us. Let's go take it to another level. We are the only Caribbean carnival in this country that has 3 days. We researched it already. We have Friday access, Saturday, and Sunday. Most carnival in this country is 1 day. Some of them you get 2. But Baltimore is leading with 3 days. Let's build on that. And you have the flyer the Saturday.
Well, that can be the top of my head.
Go ahead. Okay,
I'll put myself on the spot. On Saturday, I think I get a flyer. I got a flyer. I want to mess up, but let me see. On Saturday, you have. Is it Ding Dong on Saturday? I'm not sure. I want to mess it up. Let me get a flyer.
Oh, I'm gonna give you a flyer.
You hold on. All right.
I'm come prepared, but you drop it.
All right. So on Saturday, let me see. On Saturday we have
Compa.
We have Ray, Mr. David, Pam Masters to the Steel Orchestra. Image Band will be performing as well, hosted by yours truly.
I know. That's why I say you take it over.
I take it over, but that's Sunday. On Sunday we have world famous Nyla Blackman will be performing, and of course Viking Ding Dong as well, and Kayla Harmon, music by Danny P, Mr. Music, DJ Smalley, hosted by Neil Matai and Tony Carr, legends in the business. Eclipse Band as well will be performing on Sunday.
And you have Danny P, our Jamaican icon.
Oh, Carl Malcolm, the big old steel band, Soca Aerobics. Full show weekend.
Yes,
full show weekend.
Yes. We have a lot of activities going on, and these people don't come for free. They got to be paid. They got to be paid, and we need your support. We need you to come in and help us. The vendors are coming in. 60% of our vendors are from out of town. Speaks volume. When you can say that you have an event that 60% of your vendors, and this is based on the health department that issues food permits. They know where you come from because you got it listed. And we're just grateful, and I just want to thank all the DC members and all the Baltimore Caribbean members and the supporters, the DJs, all of you who spent some time to help us get where we are. Please continue, and remember, it's your culture. And as many of you know, that I always say, please don't wait until the Koreans to come and help you save your culture. You have to do it for you. And I'm glad to be a part, and my team is ready to assist.
Well, Dr. Elaine, I just want to take this opportunity to thank you so much for your years of contribution to not just Caribbean culture, but the whole community of Baltimore, well, the whole community of Maryland, I'd say the whole state of Maryland, and of course Baltimore community. Your accolade speaks for itself. Wish you much love, much success moving forward. I'll see you in Carnival.
Safe on the road. Make it safe on the road.
Yes, yes, yes. So with
So
that,
thank you, sir. And I thank Governor Westmore for the appointment as the commissioner, reappointment as the commissioner on Caribbean Affairs. And I'm looking forward to do some things on another level as my commissioner allows me with the Caribbean.
yes. All right, Dr. Elaine, thank you so much.
You're welcome, sir.
All right. And it's a wrap.
And that's a wrap on another episode of Alonzo Bash Podcast. If you're loving the content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Your reviews mean the world to us, so take a moment to leave one if you can. It really helps us grow and reach more awesome listeners like you. Speaking of awesome, share this podcast with your friends and family. Now here's a little treat for you. Use the code BASH for 10% off your next purchase from any of our amazing sponsors. You can find their details in our episode descriptions. Until next time, as Alonzo would say, stay focused on your goals and dreams. See you on the next episode.